Are you having a cup of tea? The fire's not on though. No, I'm out.
On May 13th, 2025, Larry, the creator behind the YouTube channel Work Less, Enjoy Life More, uploaded a video that he later called the most disturbing experience he had ever gone through. What began as a typical winter overlanding trip in the remote backcountry near Moab, Utah, shared with his friends Vic and Jeremy, would soon evolve into something unforgettable and unsettling in ways they hadn't expected. Their plan was simple: spend a few days off the grid, camp beside cold mountain lakes, try their luck at trout fishing, and unwind under clear skies. Their rigs were fully outfitted for backcountry travel, and the chosen spot promised quiet isolation and untouched wilderness. Everything felt perfect, until darkness arrived.
Hi, welcome back. My name is Larry if you're new. We're actually camping in Moab, Utah this time. It's very windy today, so hopefully you can hear me over the wind, but I'm actually camping with a friend of mine, Vic. We're out here, we're getting ready to actually go fishing here. He's got a side-by-side, a really nice one at that. And so we're gonna get ready. We found this really cool little pond up in the mountains. So we're gonna head up that way, and we already kind of pre-scouted it out, and there's so many fish in there. I think it should be pretty easy to catch a fish this time. I know it's been like 4 videos in a row now. I haven't been able to catch anything, but I have a good feeling this time that we're both gonna catch them.
Yep.
Yeah.
The day had been nothing short of ideal. They had explored rugged trails through high country terrain, cast their lines into frigid waters, spotted wildlife, and soaked in sweeping views of the desert canyons far below. When evening came, strong winds made a traditional campfire impossible, so instead they grabbed takeout from a local brewery. Hot chicken sandwiches eaten while sitting around a small ammo can fire pit.
So we had plans to make a dinner tonight, but one of Vic's friends is also camping with us. He left earlier to go into town, so he's picking us up some sort of chicken sandwich from a brewery, from Moab Brewery, right? Yeah, so looking forward to that. So I guess I'm not gonna be cooking dinner tonight, but that's all right. Should be worth it. We've been sitting out here, we've been wanting to make a real fire, but it's just the winds have just been so strong all night, nonstop. I don't know what they are, 30-mile-an-hour winds or something. You can see the full moon back there. That's nice. But yeah, we've just been sitting around a little ammo can fire pit tonight, and
God dang it! Dude, this freaking chair. I was just trying to like shine this on myself so you can see me.
A full moon rose, casting silver light over the canyon walls. Their talk shifted toward outdoor gear and shared stories, the sort of scene you'd expect on any winter camping night. But then the atmosphere changed. First, a single light appeared overhead, then a second, then a third. The lights didn't blink or streak across the sky like satellites or aircraft. They hovered, silent and still, shifting only slightly until they lined up into a nearly perfect triangle, fading out, returning again, and repeating the cycle. For nearly an hour, the phenomenon continued.
There's three again. Oh, it's coming back. Look, there's another bright one. All right, there's 2 bright ones. Now they both went away. There they come. Here's another one. Another bright one. There's 2 bright ones again.
At one point, the lights arranged in a shape eerily similar to the triangular silhouette often tied to secretive aircraft projects such as the rumored TR-3B, commonly cited in UFO discussions and conspiracy theories. Larry tried to capture as much footage as possible, though the most dramatic moment, a precise triangle of blinding lights, occurred before his camera was rolling. What he did manage to record was still baffling. These weren't drones, they weren't satellites, and they definitely didn't resemble any commercial aircraft the group had ever encountered.
All right, I know you guys have got to see some of those lights. We were standing out there about a half an hour ago, and there was three
just a blatant triangle, and there were the three brightest lights in the sky. And then they all just kind of like turned and disappeared. And then they just kept, whatever it was, like the three lights just kept turning and coming back, and they're just hovering in the same spot. Like I said, for about the last half an hour now, they're still going on out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was, I mean, like, I don't want to say like alien spaceship or something, but like, they definitely didn't act like satellites. Definitely wasn't airplanes. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I don't know. I almost want to keep going back out there. I might have to switch out the battery and go back out there again and see if they're still doing it. But that's got to be probably one of the creepiest things I've seen in the sky before.
Eventually, cold and unsettled, Larry retreated to his camper. Sleep didn't come easy. He kept peering through the windows, hoping, and at the same time dreading, that the lights would reappear. They did. Long after he stopped recording, the lights continued hovering, shifting, and rotating silently in the same section of the sky. When morning came, the three men decided to cut the trip short. Officially, they told each other it was because of the weather, but inside, they all knew the truth was different.
What do you think of the lights last night?
I have no idea what that was. I mean, it could have been a UFO. Who knows?
Yeah, the first initial three, like in that triangle, when we first saw it, we couldn't get the camera out fast enough. Like, that was the craziest one. I kind of wish I had that on camera, but they were definitely just over here spinning around all night long.
Yeah, it's so unusual.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before.
I haven't either. I guess we're going to pack up, head out here in a minute or soon, once we get everything put in the trailers.
It's going to be a process, but we'll get it done. I believe in it.
All right, Jeremy's going to go find us a couple spots. Hopefully. Crossing fingers. It's a cool van, I like it.
It really is, isn't it?
The strange lights didn't match the behavior of planes, satellites, or hobby drones. Their hovering patterns, triangular formations, and ability to reappear in the same exact spot suggested something far more advanced. Some speculate they were classified military tests, while others are convinced Larry captured evidence of a genuine UFO. The complete silence, unusual motion, and brilliant intensity of the lights make this sighting difficult to dismiss. Was Larry unknowingly camped beneath the test run of experimental aircraft? Or did something genuinely unexplainable pass over their campsite that night? Larry hadn't been looking for the mysterious. He was only out there to camp. But whatever was in the sky that evening, it found him. Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy chilling encounters caught on film, don't forget to like and subscribe, because the most disturbing moments often arrive when you least expect them. The YouTube channel, What's Not to Hike, is typically known for showcasing long-distance treks and stays in remote bothies across the UK and Europe, not for paranormal content. But during a late October trip to Galloway Forest in Scotland, what started as a relaxed Halloween special quickly became an experience neither hiker had anticipated. Their plans sounded straightforward. Partner with Ben from Adventure Outdoors, hike into the isolated White Lag in Bothy, and ride out a forecasted storm while filming a holiday collaboration.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to Bonnie, Scotland. And if you haven't recognised by now from us coming in, we're at a place called White Lag in Bothy. We're in Dumfries and Galloway Forest, and today's the day where the big storm is meant to be happening. But so far we've got lucky. And I say we, I'm with Ben, who's just setting up his sleeping gear. Ben from Adventure Outdoors. Of course, I'll leave a link to his channel in the comments down below. But it's pretty moody, as you can probably see outside the window there. It's still pretty moody out there, but we haven't got the winds anywhere near what they said they were forecast for. I mean, they were talking about 60, 70 miles an hour, but we had the odd gust. We had to stop off and get some petrol for the car.
Both men were seasoned outdoorsmen, pragmatic and grounded, with no real interest in ghosts or the supernatural. Their only real concern was the incoming system, Storm Ashley, which threatened wind gusts reaching nearly 90 miles per hour. They made it to the Bothy without issue, despite the gloomy skies and steadily building winds. Once inside, they unpacked gear, set up sleeping arrangements, filtered drinking water, and joked about the storm over a few drinks and dehydrated meals. The mood was relaxed, almost cozy, as the weather intensified outside. Then, things began to get strange.
Oh well, so I was wrong. Looks like the winds have come, although still not as strong as forecast, but it is definitely, it's almost like you feel the storms on the way. Sort of probably 30-40 mile an hour gusts maybe now, but you can feel it's going to get worse. About going to filter some water, just hang that up so we don't have to keep going out and getting it, especially if the weather does turn bad. And then we're just going to hang out, got some beers and wine there, have a bit of food. We didn't bring loads of stuff to cook on fire or anything, we just brought some the dehydrated meals.
The first odd moment came when a kettle suddenly appeared on the stove, even though neither man recalled placing it there, and the stove itself hadn't even been lit. They laughed it off, assuming one of them had simply forgotten. But soon after, a pair of saws that had been hanging neatly on the wall earlier were discovered lying on the floor. Once again, neither had touched them.
Let me show you around again. So that's the, actually I'll have to spin the camera around. There's the candle, I think that looks really nice. Down here is the fireplace. Looks like Ben's got the kettle on. We haven't even got the fire on yet. Are you having a cup of tea?
I didn't put that on
But the fire's not on though.
I didn't move that kettle.
No, you're winding me up. Aren't you? You've done the saws, I reckon, and now you've done the kettle. You're trying to.
I didn't put it on.
I reckon you're trying to freak me out.
I didn't realise the stove isn't even
The stove's not even on, yeah. I thought it weird you were having a cup of, I think it's weird that you're having a cup of tea with it. So you didn't move it?
That's definitely not, huh?
We're gonna watch a bit of bothy TV in a bit, which is basically the fire, sit in for a night and listen to the wind blow outside. Quite spooky, and what with the saws and the kettle moving on its own, it's even spookier now. But as I say, I don't really believe in all that stuff, but a bit odd.
It was odd, but not unexplainable, until the door slammed shut with startling force. This wasn't just a strong gust. The door was solid, heavy, and required deliberate pressure to close. One of them even tested it afterward, confirming that the wind alone couldn't have caused it. Something or someone had moved that door, had moved. From that point,
Found the bothy book. You can put my glasses on though to find us a bat. So this is popular, quite a popular bothy by the looks of it. Someone actually stayed last night. It was nice and tidy when we came in. So plaudits to whoever stayed here last night. Well done. Absolutely spotless. Hold on a minute. No. I'm out of here. No.
the atmosphere shifted. The camera light and backup battery, both fully charged beforehand, began to drain and flicker without cause. The room that had felt warm and welcoming moments earlier now carried an edge of unease. Unnerved, the two men chose not to sleep in the same space where the slamming had occurred. The lighthearted Halloween mood had been replaced by something far more serious. No further physical disturbances took place, but the tension was enough to keep them awake.
The thing is, and now my light, that's attached to my the cold shoe on the tripod, that was just charged before I started filming tonight, and that's now just died. Weird stuff was going on earlier with the saws, 1 minute on the wall, now they're on the floor. I thought that was Ben just winding me up. He thought it was me winding him up. The kettle ended up on top of the stove when the stove wasn't even on. So we're convinced the kettle, we've now convinced ourselves the kettle might have always been on the stove, but we have to look back at the previous footage when we came in to see where it was, but that was terrifying. And I don't even swear, I'm swearing, but I think my batteries, see now this battery's dying as well on this camera, and it's again just being charged, and this lasts like 2 hours or whatever. So there's something really weird going on. We were going to sleep in this room because it was a bit warmer than the other one, and plus the other one, the doors rattling from the wind, so.
Through much of the night, they never outright claimed the bothy was haunted. Still, the timing and sequence of events were hard to brush off. Objects moved on their own, gear malfunctioned, and the heavy door slammed shut with unnatural force, all within a short period. Some viewers have suggested strong electromagnetic interference, while others point to unexplained energy phenomena often linked to historic stone shelters. Even for skeptics, dismissing every detail as coincidence isn't easy. Was it merely the storm creating illusions, or was there something else sharing that bothy during the night? The footage captures the events, but the interpretation is left up to you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy disturbing outdoor encounters caught on camera, be sure to like and subscribe. Uploaded to YouTube on May 11th, 2025, this chilling entry comes from the channel Deer River Wild, the quiet digital home of the so-called Adirondack hermit. Normally, his videos highlight a minimalist, off-grid lifestyle, repairing wood stoves, making slow but steady cabin upgrades, tracking wildlife, and taking contemplative walks through frozen forests. But this time, the story was very different. Instead of the usual calm solitude and gentle craft, what unfolded deeply unsettled both the creator and his audience. The video begins with the hermit setting up trail cameras around his isolated cabin in the Adirondack backcountry. His aim was simple: capture glimpses of local wildlife while he was away. Deer, foxes, maybe even a porcupine crossing the snow. With a thin blanket of powder on the ground and cold wind rushing through the trees, he mounted cameras along narrow paths, by the riverbank, and near his front door. Soon after, however, a powerful windstorm tore through the region. Fierce gusts bent trees, shook the cabin walls, and knocked several cameras off balance. When he returned, the hermit discovered much of the footage had been corrupted or blown out. Calmly, he adjusted the setups, adding better stabilization and wider angles. That's when everything changed. Reviewing the latest recordings, one clip stood out. At first, the frame showed nothing unusual, just snow swirling in the wind and shadows shifting across the ground. Then a man stepped into view. He wasn't waving for help. He wasn't looking lost. He wasn't even hesitant. He moved with quiet confidence, circling the cabin before eventually stepping inside. There were no broken locks, no stolen property, no visible disturbance. Yet the fact that a stranger had entered, uninvited, in such a remote and isolated place, was enough to shake the hermit's otherwise steady composure. The man remained on camera for nearly 2 minutes. He glanced at the gear, scanned the room, and seemed to consider his next move. At no point did he cover his face, even though he walked directly past a visible camera. When the hermit later returned and saw the footage, his reaction was telling. He spoke little, but his movements said more than words, approaching the door cautiously, checking his surroundings, and silently processing what could have happened. From that moment, his behavior shifted. He swept the cabin area carefully, adjusted the trail cameras to more hidden positions, and carried himself with a sharper awareness. The focus was no longer on animals. Unlike ghost sightings or unexplained lights in the night sky, this was frightening for a different reason, because it was real. A stranger, deep in the wilderness, miles from the nearest town, had entered the private space of someone living alone. He took nothing, yet gave no reason for being there. Was it simple curiosity? Or was it something more deliberate, scouting, planning, testing boundaries? That uncertainty is what makes this event so disturbing. Who was the man? And why did he come? He didn't steal. He didn't hide. But he left behind something far worse than damage: the quiet erosion of safety. In a world where isolation is chosen for protection and peace, how do you respond when that sanctuary is silently breached? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to see more real and unsettling moments caught on camera, don't forget to like and subscribe. Uploaded on June 15, 2024, this short but unnerving encounter follows Mike as he treks deep into the remote woods of Dudleytown, Connecticut, a place surrounded by folklore, mystery, and its long-standing reputation as cursed. Stories of ghostly apparitions, strange sounds, and unsettling phenomena have given Dudleytown the title of one of New England's most haunted forests. Despite that ominous reputation, Mike sets out alone, treating the trip as if it were just another hike through the woods. But the deeper he goes, the less ordinary the experience becomes.
Watch who's stalking who now. Who's stalking who now? Look at that. Do you see a person? Yeah, who's stalking who now? I got you now, motherfucker. I got you now, motherfucker. Look at this beautiful moss, by the way. Do you hear it? Look.
It begins with sounds. Subtle, persistent noises trail behind him. Footsteps, perhaps, or movement. Yet every time he turns, the forest looks empty. No figure, no motion, only silence pressing in from all sides. Uneasy, Mike slips behind a rock to observe the trees. While filming from his hidden spot, the camera catches something unsettling.
Okay, ready? Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Look at that. I'm by myself in Dudleytown. Look at that. Oh my God.
A vague figure in the distance, partially concealed by branches, standing still, as though it's watching. The moment sends a surge of dread through him. Continuing on, the tension only escalates. More movement is captured. Someone, or something, weaving between the trees just far enough away to remain unreachable. The figure never closes the distance, but it never disappears either. Always present, always watching. What makes the encounter so disturbing is the complete absence of sound. No words, no approach. Just a silent, shadowy figure lingering in the forest. Though shaken, Mike eventually emerges from Dudleytown unharmed. There's no confrontation, no dramatic ending, but the effect is lasting. Encounters like this highlight that danger in isolated places doesn't always come from the supernatural. Maybe it was a prankster, maybe a wanderer, or maybe something harder to explain. What creates the real fear is the uncertainty, the unsettling reality of not knowing who or what was there. If you were alone in a place like Dudleytown and realized someone was silently following you, would you confront them, or would you leave the forest as quickly as possible? In a recent release, the Paranormal channels Sorry Taguya and Archaeotica set out on an investigation inside a cemetery infamous for its history of supernatural activity. What began as a routine night exploration quickly turned into one of their most disturbing experiences yet.
¿Por qué te vas? Acércate.
Oye, ¿escuchas?
Corrió para acá. A ver, muéstrame tu tumba. Sé que aquí está. ¿Por qué te fuiste?
¡Uy! ¡Dios mío!
¿Te dices cuenta?
¿Te golpearon, amiga?
¿De dónde cayó ese palo?
No sé dónde estaba, te lo juro que no miré.
¿Te enojaste, verdad? ¿No te
Ah,
gusta
caray.
que te rete?
Sí te golpeó duro, amiga, ¿eh?
Por eso te enojaste. Aquí estoy, ven. A ver, ven y hazlo otra vez. Ven y hazlo.
Mira, ¿qué es eso, amiga?
¿Qué?
Es una silla. Se movió, ¿eh?
Se está sentado ahí.
A ver, pon una parte abajo, mía, en el puro medio fondo.
Hay que bajarla de acá arriba porque tumba. Y grabamos el
Sí, amigo. La vamos a bajar, amigo, porque no queremos problema ahí con la gente del cementerio, amigos.
No, y es que luego dicen que es uno, pues. A ver, aquí estoy, ven. Ven, yo vi que la silla se movió. Yo vi que ahí estabas. Acércate, quiero verte.
They entered carefully, flashlights cutting across rows of weathered graves. Almost immediately, unusual activity began to unfold. Soft, eerie laughter drifted through the night air, and a lone chair positioned near a tomb started to shift on its own, rocking slightly, then moving as if pushed by unseen hands.
Mira, José se está sumando de acá. Hola.
¡Ay! Acá. ¿Hola? Mira, la silla, mira la silla.
Llegaste aquí, ¿qué quieres? A ver, dime, ¿qué quieres? Acércate.
Ah, caray.
¿No la deja agarrar? Te estoy diciendo que vengas para acá, acércate. ¿Qué es lo que quieres en realidad? Yo te estoy ordenando que ahí te quedes. Quédate ahí sentada. ¿Qué quieres? A ver, si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate en este momento. Yo quiero verte, no quiero que muevas la silla, quiero verte. No quiero que me retes con una silla, quiero poderte ver. Si estás aquí realmente, muéstrate. A ver, muéstrate, quiero verte, acércate. No quiero que te estés escondiendo, ni que te manifiestes agrediéndome, acércate.
Mira. Y a tus pies.
Exactamente, es que está enojada, pues.
The unease grew sharper when, without warning, one of the investigators was struck by something invisible. Efforts to calmly engage whatever presence lingered there went unanswered, but the atmosphere only thickened. The chair's movement grew more purposeful, as if an unseen entity was using it to communicate, or to issue a warning. One investigator speculated that the spirit might be female, interpreting subtle impressions and the energy in the space. Regardless of identity, it was clear the entity did not welcome their intrusion.
Cuidado, cuidado. Amigos, somos 656 personas. Apóyenme a compartir, mi gente hermosa. Apóyenme a compartir y distribuir este contenido, amigos. Vamos, sí se puede. Sí se puede llegar a más compartida. ¿Cómo de que no, mi amigos? Pues toda... Ah, no manches.
Qué asco.
Pues mira toda la brujería que hay, amiga.
¿Qué?
Hay brujería con cráneo y todo, mira.
Qué asco.
Apesta horrible.
Huele horrible. Eso ya se reventó. Eso ya hizo lo que tenía que hacer, José.
Vean toda la brujería, amigos.
Mira, tiene cocos. Es que la tiran para esta parte porque es parte donde uno no se puede meter a sacarla. Mira, y está el ataúd, José.
Sí, ya todo eso, amiga.
Están los ataúdes.
Hay que grabar más profundo, amiga.
¿Me quito?
No. Pensé que se podía, pero no. ¿Escuchaste?
Sí. ¿Quién está ahí? Hola.
Deeper into the cemetery, the team uncovered evidence of brujeria, witchcraft. Hidden among gravestones and secluded corners were objects often tied to ritual practice. Small coffins, animal remains, melted candles, coconut shells, and personal belongings. Many of these items were tucked away in places that would be difficult to reach, suggesting not only intent, but long-term ceremonial use.
Hola. Hey. ¿Quién pasó, pues?
¿Quién está ahí?
Buenas noches.
José, pero te das cuenta que eso como que voló.
Espérate. No sé qué fue. Hola.
Yo vi que como que voló, José.
¿No será algo en la silla?
Hola.
No, a ver, mueve esa silla para el medio, amiga. Algo de tener esa silla. Porque caminó para acá, para la silla, ¿eh? Ahí déjala, amiga.
¿Estás buscando la silla? ¿La estás buscando? Ahí está la silla. ¿Qué quieres con ella? A ver, ve.
Uy.
Habló, José. Habló. Ahí la tienes, ven. Acércate, ahí está la silla.
Mira. No mames. ¿Miraste?
The oppressive feeling of being observed never left them. Whispers, faint voices, and fleeting shadows seemed to press in from every angle. At one point, their equipment captured what looked like a dark figure briefly seated in the chair. Though it vanished in seconds, the impression of intelligence and hostility remained.
Oh, un niño. Pues que la verdad ya ni sé, amiga, qué era.
Buenas noches.
Oye, ¿se escuchan las
¿Qué haces
voces?
aquí solo en el cementerio? ¿No te da miedo?
¿Se escuchan las voces?
A ver, aquí estoy. Ven, acércate.
Ay.
Acá, por acá.
Ay, caray, ay, caray.
Fue aquí. A ver, ¿quién está ahí?
Fue aquí.
Oye, José. Como que algo está hablando de acá atrás.
Uy.
A ver, acércate.
Mira.
Se está riendo algo,
¡Ay!
¿Quién
Pasó
está ahí?
ya.
Mira la silla.
Y tiró la silla. Yo lo miré, estaba sentado en una silla, amiga. ¿Hola? Estaba sentado en una silla, amiga, ¿eh? ¿Hola?
No se nos estaba viendo para dónde agarrábamos.
Y agarró para acá.
Lo que sea que esté aquí nos
Hay que
estaba
buscarlo.
viendo, José.
Hay que buscarlo. Oye. Siguen los golpes.
¿Hola?
Ah, caray.
A ver, aquí estamos.
No, está muy fuerte esto.
Acércate, ¿dónde estás? Hola. Es que no se mira.
Then came the climax. The chair suddenly crashed to the ground with violent force, as though hurled by something unseen. The aggression felt deliberate, like a final warning to get out. Immediately afterward, a disembodied voice echoed close by. Yet when the light swept the area, no one was there. Shadows darted at the edges of their beams, and the air grew heavy to the point of suffocation. Realizing the danger, the team chose to retreat. Though none of them suffered physical injury, the psychological toll was clear. The combination of direct physical interaction, ritual artifacts, and the overwhelming atmosphere suggested the cemetery was not just haunted. It had been charged and shaped by years of spiritual disturbance. This investigation stands apart for how rapidly it escalated, from light attempts at communication to outright aggression and the discovery of ritual remnants. Was this entity conjured through repeated ceremonies, or has it always been bound to that ground? Do you believe the team encountered something truly paranormal, or do you think the events were staged for dramatic effect? More importantly, if you were in their place, how long would you have stayed inside that cemetery? In one of his most unnerving explorations yet, Franco TV takes viewers high into the Andes Mountains for a solo nighttime investigation that quickly turns unsettling. Recently uploaded, the video documents his journey into a remote region steeped in legends. Tales of spiritual mountain guardians and even terrifying entities like the Wendigo. At elevations between 9,000 and 10,000 feet, Franco braves freezing conditions to begin.
But holy shit, this place is amazing. I'm starting to head back into the town. That was eerie. So it begins. I'm gonna see if I could take out my thermal imaging camera and seeing if I could see anything that's alive out here moving, or any cold or hot signatures.
His first stop is a shrine dedicated to the Virgin Mary, a place locals believe provides protection in these dangerous highlands. The silence is overwhelming, broken only by sharp gusts of wind cutting through the night air. The cold soon begins to take its toll.
Chairs. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Sometimes there's like a hidden door. So I want to get my bearings around this area. There's a lot of tombs, a lot of darkness things, so I'm actually kind of spooked out going through here. There is a main entrance up here, and every now and then I keep hearing sounds coming from that creepy little chapel up there. I don't know why. It might be the wind moving it.
With a thermal camera in hand, he scans the rugged terrain for signs of movement. The screen shows nothing. No heat signatures, no life. Yet he cannot shake the sense of being watched. His path leads to a decaying bunker, its unlocked door revealing remnants of past use. Chairs.
The wind gust is ridiculous out here, but there is this house that I want to check out. Now this house is particularly weird because they left all their belongings inside. And the crazy part is all the belongings are children's clothes. There's just children everywhere. They're dolls and everything. Oh, God, it's so freaking cold. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that in this video. You see?
And then you have a whole bunch of clothes, shoes. There's kids' shoes in here too. I looked at my vlog channel and I just found all these clothing that just belongs to random people. These are short pants from another kid.
Socks, a rug, and a wooden bench. It's unclear who lived here, or why. While exploring, Franco hears faint noises coming from a chapel nearby.
Nope, I'm seeing something. It looks like lights. Turn off my IR, you see it? Oh shit, there's a car. Somebody just came in here. Holy shit. I hope they're not part of the people with the lights. I have been out here for hours and I have not seen a single soul out here. The thing is, this place is really hard to find, so I don't know how the heck they even found their way up here. It is so windy right now. Sorry if my voice sounds muffled.
At first he blames the wind, but before long, shifting shadows and movement through windows suggest something more. Switching between thermal, infrared, and flashlight modes, he pushes forward. At one point, he captures the chilling image of a dark figure gliding past a chapel window. Brief, but enough to confirm his suspicions. The investigation grows darker when he steps into an abandoned home. Inside, he finds children's clothes, shoes, and toys scattered as though the house had been left behind suddenly, frozen in time. The discovery carries an unsettling weight, raising questions about who once lived there and why they left so abruptly. Then the sounds return. Scraping outside, movement in the dark. Suddenly, in the distance, lights appear from a building that had been dark only moments before. Even more alarming, a car arrives. Given the remote location, the vehicle's presence feels ominous. Franco watches its headlights wind along the narrow mountain road, unsettled by the thought of who else would be up here, and for what reason. As he observes, more activity emerges.
Look at the window. You see? I knew I saw a fucking shadow. I saw the same thing earlier with the GoPro. Oh my god, it's just... Hold on, let me cover the mics. A big breeze just came in. I just saw a black shadow right in front of the window.
Lights flicker in surrounding buildings. Silhouettes move past windows, and shadowy forms drift at the edges of his vision. Returning to the house, he notices handprints smeared across the walls. Some small, low to the ground like those of children, others higher, pressed hard as if in desperation. Abruptly, his camera cuts out. When it returns, he manages to capture one final disturbing image. A pitch-black figure standing motionless at a window, echoing the earlier sighting at the chapel. The combination of unexplained phenomena and the arrival of unknown people forces Franco to end his investigation, choosing caution over curiosity. This exploration suggests more than ordinary paranormal disturbance. It feels layered, with both supernatural and human mysteries intersecting in ways that are difficult to untangle. Was the place haunted by tragedy and abandonment? Or were the strangers part of something far more concrete and possibly dangerous? If you were alone in the freezing Andes, with shadows in the windows and strangers showing up unannounced, would you keep going? Or would you call it quits?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker. In another part of the world, a group of friends faced a situation just as unnerving, though the setting was entirely different. What started off harmlessly enough with the group meeting to discuss their next workout routine would soon spiral into something much darker. A few days later, the friends decided to head out on a camping trip, eager to escape into the isolation of the wilderness. They came across what seemed like a hidden spot far from any trace of people, and quickly settled in for the night.
Shut up. Let me try to see if I can hear it. That sounds like some demonic stuff, bro. If he gets closer, I'm out.
As night fell, the silence was suddenly interrupted by a distinct human voice calling out from the trees no more than 20 feet away. The group froze, sharing nervous glances. Trying to break the tension, one of them called back, only to be met with a stream of profanity.
Hey, yo, what's up?
I think we're good. Can't keep looking out.
The stranger's words carried sharp hostility, as though the campers had intruded on territory that wasn't theirs.
Shut up, hold on. Where's the knife? What happened? Where's the knife? Knife. I don't know, I don't think we have it.
We should be fine, but for our own safety, we should get out of here.
The atmosphere instantly flipped from casual to terrifying. Realizing how serious the situation was, they quietly began packing their gear. Every rustle made them glance toward the tree line, bracing for the stranger to emerge at any second. No one knows who the person was or why they reacted so aggressively. Perhaps it was a local protecting their space, or maybe someone guarding a secret they didn't want uncovered. What do you believe was lurking in those woods that night? Just an irate passerby or something far more threatening? In an unusual attempt at stealth camping, a camper decided to set up for the night on the roof of a restaurant. To avoid drawing attention, he disguised himself as a construction worker, hoping the cover would help him blend in and carry out his plan without suspicion. However, as he climbed onto the roof, he was startled to find that someone was already there.
Oh. Holy you scared the crap. I'm not a threat to you. I'm not gonna fuck with you or nothing. I swear, I'm Sam.
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you work for the city?
No, I'm pretending to be a construction guy so I can...
The man introduced himself and claimed he had previously worked at the restaurant. He explained that he had been staying on the property for a while and went so far as to reveal that he intended to turn himself in to the authorities within a few days.
Scared the living crap out of me, but I got all my stuff ready to go.
The camper was shaken by the encounter. What had begun as a lighthearted plan for a secret overnight stay instantly turned into something unnerving. The man hinted at being a wanted felon, which only heightened the sense of danger. Unnerved, the camper quickly abandoned the idea
ready to go.
Of camping on the roof.
And, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. Yeah, you're good.
Despite having already prepared food and supplies for the night. The identity and intentions of the stranger remain unclear. Was he truly a former employee who had fallen on hard times, or was there a more troubling backstory behind his claims of being wanted? If you were in the camper's shoes, would you have stayed to find out more, or left immediately as he did? On July 12, 2025, veteran adventure filmmaker Andrew Steampier White uploaded a striking video to his channel, ASPW Experience. With more than 30 years of travel and documentary work behind him, Andrew has built a reputation for calm, rational storytelling. That background made what he captured during a camping trip in Zimbabwe even more unsettling, because even he, someone not prone to sensationalism, admitted he had no explanation for what appeared in the sky. The incident occurred while Andrew, his wife, and their guide were camping along the shores of Lake Kariba.
Hello, my name is Andrew St. Pierre White. I am an adventure travel filmmaker. I've been doing this for over 30 years. And on a recent shoot in Zimbabwe, I witnessed something that I cannot explain. So I'm going to ask you in the comments to share with me what you think this might be. I'm not a kind of guy that is particularly into conspiracy theories, particularly when they're ridiculous. But I'm also interested in them when they have some validity. So I feel as I have a pretty open mind when it comes to this kind of thing. My mind can't open enough to explain what I saw, but the beauty of this is I photographed it. So what I'm going to show you now is there were three of us, my wife and our Zimbabwean guide, Graham Sharp. We were sitting. The sun had long set. Everybody else was in their tents. We were sitting up having a sherry and looking at the night sky and just talking about stuff.
As night settled in, the group enjoyed a quiet evening under the stars when Andrew noticed something unusual.
I said, hang on a minute, that star just moved. Strange, must have been a figment of my imagination. A few minutes later, it definitely moved. And I said, whoa, guys, that star, and it was a particularly bright star, that star just moved. So we all looked at the star, and it moved. It moved down and left, and then turned off. Okay, it's a man-made thing. It looked like a star, and it was stationary in the sky, like stars are. Of course, they're not stationary. They move, apparent to our location, which can be captured on a time-lapse camera. And guess what? I had a time-lapse camera running, and I realized, hey, whatever that was, my time-lapse camera is pointing in the right direction, I think. It's going to be towards the left of frame, but I think that my time-lapse camera will capture this. Then what happened? Another star appeared, and then that one came back. It turned itself on. Stars don't turn themselves off and on. Like a switch. Click, it's gone. Click, it's back on again.
A bright point of light resembling a star suddenly shifted its position. It dimmed, disappeared entirely, and then reappeared. Andrew realized his time-lapse camera, already aimed at the night sky, may have recorded the anomaly.
Now what I'm going to show you now is, because at that moment I said, hang on, I'm going to film this, and I got a camera and I faced it towards, it was very dark. The camera I'm using is pretty good in low light, but it's not magic. It did pick us up, and we started to discuss in real time what we were watching. The time lapse is not real time because it's so dark. Each frame is 10 seconds. So the time lapse camera would record and open its shutter, and each single frame run at 25 frames per second in this case is basically a 10-second exposure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play back our discussion on the banks of Lake Kariba, Matusadona in Zimbabwe. We were facing almost due west, pretty much 270 degrees magnetic, give or take. And the sun had gone down in that location. There were a series of hills, and I'm going to now go through and try and match up the frames recorded with the time-lapse camera to what we were actually seeing at the time, and then I might cut in my thoughts now as I put this film together of what I think this phenomenon, well, I don't know what it is, but I have witnessed a few things. And one of the things I want you to notice straight away is that it is fairly obvious that the phenomenon was exo-atmospheric. It was not within our atmosphere, because our atmosphere is stationary in the frame.
On review, the footage confirmed what they had witnessed. The light pulsed in and out, Then others appeared beside it. 2, then 3, then 4 star-like objects flickered in and out of view, shifting in ways celestial bodies simply do not. To rule out conventional explanations, Andrew compared the anomalies to an actual airplane that entered the same frame. The contrast was clear. While the plane's lights blinked along a straight linear path, the unidentified objects hovered, pulsed, and faded unpredictably. Their movement appeared synchronized with the stars in long exposure, suggesting they were outside Earth's atmosphere. The following night, he set up again.
We are filming this, folks, because we are witnessing a UFO right here. Now, there is a camera I set up about 2 hours ago, maybe a little less, over there before the moon came up, which is a time lapse. We watched a star, bright star, and it was quite bright, and it turned off. I noticed it turn off. Then it came back. Is it coming back? It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's moving.
Okay, it's moving
across the sky.
So now, looking at through the binoculars,
There's a second.
there is a
There's
second
the
one.
second one.
Second one below it. These are.
There's the third, and the fourth.
I'm not seeing the fourth. The third and the
Very
fourth.
bright.
They're
That one is very, very bright.
very bright.
That's been the brightest one.
Yes, the other two are coming in from the top.
Yes.
There are 3 of them coming in from the top.
I caught a sight of the fourth one, and there it's
The
dimming
fourth one is
again.
dimming and going out. So they're pulsing, going brighter and they're moving. They're physically moving, but they look like stars, right? So they have the same. They even twinkle a bit, don't they? They twinkle.
Yeah, they twinkle.
They twinkle like a star twinkles. And
But they don't behave like stars.
There's a
because
dance.
stars don't move like this.
No, there's a dance going in front of us, and it's happening this very second live while the camera is filming us.
And it comes back.
We will look at the time-lapse footage and hope.
The same strange behavior appeared. Lights that blinked in and out shifted across the sky and reflected light after sunset.
Here is my logic. They're, as I said, out of the atmosphere, otherwise they wouldn't be moving with the stars, they would be stationary with the ground, Earth. So they're not drones or anything like that. We can discount that completely. So let's now assume that they are out of our atmosphere. What could they be? Remember, the sun has just set. So whatever they are, we are seeing reflected light. It's another reason why the light emanating from them is not consistent, sometimes much brighter than at other times, which suggests to me that they are not spherical, and that if they were flat and turned to reflect more light, they would appear brighter, but they're so far away that all we're seeing is a spot of light. And when not reflecting that much light back to us, and reflecting some, they are not reflecting as much light because they're not spherical. And if they are not spherical, then they are not natural. Or at least, asteroids and things like that are round. But asteroids and comets and things like that always move in a linear direction. They might change speed and things and appear to speed up, but they're affected by gravity, so they're moving in one direction. These were moving in all up, down, sideways, and varying in intensity, and then suddenly they would turn off, just gone. How do they turn off how do you turn off a reflection? You turn off a reflection by turning so that the side that is reflecting the light back is no longer reflecting the light back in your direction.
Based on the way their brightness changed, Andrew theorized the objects were not spherical, unlike stars, comets, or meteors, but instead flat, reflecting light depending on orientation. That ruled out known celestial phenomena as well as man-made drones or satellites. There was no sound, no interference, and no logical explanation. Andrew's detailed footage eliminates many possibilities. They weren't stars, satellites, or aircraft. Their synchronized pulsing and non-linear movement suggests something beyond natural atmospheric or orbital behavior. Could they have been advanced technology reflecting sunlight, Or something even more unexplained if even a veteran filmmaker with decades of global experience is left without answers? What does that say about what was really in the skies above Zimbabwe that night? Was it human technology we aren't meant to know about, or something far more extraordinary? Anthony had been wild camping deep in the forest, soaking in the stillness of the night. But sometime after midnight, that calm was shattered. A chilling sound tore through the silence and jolted him awake. Groggy and disoriented, he grabbed his camera to document what was happening. What he captured was a scream, high-pitched, unnatural, and unlike anything he had ever heard from wildlife before. Fear escalated when he realized the flap of his tent wasn't fully closed. He hurried to zip it shut, his heartbeat racing as the strange noise seemed to move around his campsite. Then, without warning, the recording cut off, leaving viewers with no clear answer as to what came next. Some believe the sound could have been a fox, an owl, or another nocturnal animal making eerie calls. Others argue it was too unnatural, raising questions of something paranormal or even human lurking in the woods that night. If you were camping alone and heard that kind of scream circling your tent, would you stay hidden inside or make a run for it into the darkness? RBD Whispers is a small but steadily growing exploration channel run by a mother and daughter team who travel across the United States documenting abandoned places. Their videos usually have a calm and welcoming tone, often highlighting the beauty of old houses, barns, and forgotten buildings. But during one particular visit to a property they nicknamed the Dead End House, things took a turn that neither of them expected. The channel later submitted this clip directly along with a note that read, "Listen closely during my daughter's outro. You can hear someone running on the steps. So creepy knowing we were not alone. I feel terrible putting my daughter in danger." The video itself starts off lighthearted.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Get ready to go to another place. We call this house the Dead End House, Dead End Road House. We're more prepared this time than we were last time. As in, we got hats, gloves, warmer jackets. Well, she does.
I don't have a hat.
Oh. Okay, so I lied about all of that. I hope you enjoy our video. I'll start again when we get there. Before, last time we came, there was a truck that was hidden behind these logs. There's a highway right there, and the truck was hidden right here. We're watching Most RG right now to prepare us for going inside. All right, let's go.
The daughter laughs about being better prepared for this trip, listing off hats, gloves, and jackets, though admitting she forgot a few of them. The house they enter looks exactly like the kind of location urban explorers seek out. Peeling wallpaper, cracked mirrors, dust-covered furniture, and even a strange high-mounted sink. As she moves from room to room, the mood subtly shifts.
Another closet that you can see. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of this room. My mom's going back. She's inside the car now. Okay, let's go to this room. You know, being by yourself is a lot creepier in these places. But it's alright, I'm doing this for you. Did you hear that? That mirror is about to fall. It's just another... I don't know if I've actually went back. Looks like there's a back room. Fridge. Nothing too fancy. Wild wallpapers. This beautiful blue closet with a little bit of light coming through.
Her mother returns to wait in the car, leaving her alone inside. The tone of her voice changes as she remarks on how much creepier these places feel when you're by yourself. She continues narrating, showing viewers different details in the house, when something eerie happens.
Maybe this is where they wash clothes or something, but it's hooked up to the pipes. The pipes go all the way under. So I don't really know. If you guys know what this is, let me know in the comments, because that would be a helpful fact. Alright, so I'm gonna get out of this place because it's very cold and creepy by myself. So here we go. My mom's outside in the van, or in the vehicle. She's freezing. I'm hearing some really creepy things. Okay, so I'm starting to get freaked out. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My mom and I would super appreciate it. I need to get out of this house. I'm shivering. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching.
During her closing remarks, thanking viewers for watching and asking them to subscribe, a sound cuts through the moment. Footsteps, fast, deliberate, and unmistakably coming from upstairs. Her mom was outside in the vehicle. No one else was supposed to be inside. The daughter doesn't react in the moment, likely not hearing it over her own speaking voice, but on playback, the sound is clear and impossible to ignore. She wraps up quickly, her tone noticeably shaken, noting how cold and unsettling the house feels and how eager she is to leave. Just before stepping out, she also stumbles upon what looks like a grave near the property. It isn't explained, and the video doesn't linger on it, but the combination of strange noises and the ominous discovery leaves an unsettling impression. There are no jump scares here. The fear comes from subtle details, from the realization that something might have been watching her the entire time. Some viewers believe the sounds could have been structural. Old houses are known to creak and groan, but others argue the noise is far too distinct, like someone running quickly across a wooden floor. If that's the case, the daughter may have unknowingly been just a few feet away from a stranger inside the house. What do you think? Was it simply the building settling, or was someone else really inside the dead-end house that day? The Moon Pie Project is a channel unlike most in the paranormal niche. Run by Mia and her close companion Autumn, their videos combine folklore investigation with deeply personal storytelling, creating a style that feels both intimate and unsettling. In this particular entry, the pair decided to explore a section of trail near the Appalachian region. It wasn't part of the official route, and signs warned visitors to stay away. Still, curiosity pulled them in.
But no, yeah, this is us going into the woods, into a trail that you are not supposed to be on, and deeply, deeply, deeply regretting it afterwards.
Not closed if you trespass.
Guess what we're doing?
What are we doing today?
We're hunting the people. Worse and worse.
I have a pretty good guess. Yeah, I wonder why it's closed. Why it's been closed since 2019. Yeah, isn't this... It's not part of the Appalachian Trail, but it's part of, like, that whole stretch, right?
Who really knows why? I feel like I have an idea. Do you have a weapon on you?
I do. I have several. Thanks. Well, no, because I was about to say, not to whistle in the woods, not to say its name.
The path had been closed for years, and local rumors tied it to unexplained disappearances and disturbing discoveries. At first, their journey felt ordinary. The trail was overgrown, the sound of the river filled the background, and their mood was light as they filmed and joked in their signature style. But before long, strange problems emerged. Phones began losing storage space, batteries drained unnaturally fast, and the mood shifted. Not long after they encountered something unusual, a porcupine.
I'm gonna die for this project. I swear to God. Okay. Up we go. Now we go. Now we go. Mia, move. Mia, get off. Get off. Get off. It's okay. Don't panic. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
What is that? Is it a porcupine?
That is a porcupine. That is a porcupine. It's all right, buddy. We're sorry.
Sorry, little beavers. Porcupine. We were stuck a little bit.
Maybe.
I was on his rock for his log. I don't think he's too happy about that. So
this is so cool.
So
We found the skinwalker, and it kind of looks like my cat, but spiky, and very upset about the fact that I was on his log. So.
It didn't behave like a typical animal lingering on the path and watching them closely. To the duo, it felt symbolic, almost like a warning not to continue. Ignoring the omen, they pressed deeper into the woods. That's when they stumbled upon something truly disturbing.
I think he's coming up here. He's coming up here. Autumn? All right. What the fuck is that? Do you want a moon pie? Is he on our side now? Okay. I can't hold two phones, eat a moon pie, and I'll try. There's random pictures of people printed out up here. Okay, here you go. I found some like witchcraft things. What? There's like black and white pictures of people printed out. Where? Oh. Yeah. I think that porcupine was our sign to leave.
Printed photographs scattered across the ground, some black and white, some torn, arranged in deliberate patterns. Alongside them were symbols scratched into nearby stones. To outsiders, it might have looked like random debris, but to those who know Appalachian lore, the markings seemed ritualistic. The tension grew heavier. They tried to remain calm, but as noises echoed around them, instinct screamed to leave.
We can't run. Don't run.
Oh, I thought you were taken. I thought I got you.
No. No. Mia, we can't run. If it is what you think it is, running gets its attention. Shh. It's okay.
Oh, my dog.
It's not a dog.
What is it?
Take this.
It's not a dog? What is that?
Don't worry about it. We're just gonna go back to the car. We found it. It's after us. We're gonna walk to the car. We're gonna walk to the car. Oh my god. Wait until we get out of the woods. Keys out. Oh my god. It's alive. It's yelling. Right. That's what it was. Found the source.
Still, something held them back, an invisible pressure, as if they were being watched. For those familiar with skinwalker legends, this moment carried weight. These beings, according to indigenous traditions, are shapeshifters, manipulators, and predators that thrive on fear. The girls debated running, but they knew that fleeing might only make them prey. Instead, they forced themselves to walk back toward their car. By the time they emerged from the forest, their fear was written not in their words, but in the silence between them.
In the woods, you can't go running off to follow you because that means you're food.
I'm freezing right now. It's all right. I thought it was over. I thought we were dead. They were laughing and yelling and barking. Who does that?
I don't know. Ooh, don't drive off the bridge. Say what you just said again. Predators don't run from predators. To the thing that we were looking for, we are prey animals. But we can pretend that we're predators. If you hear something in the woods, and it's not obviously like a bear or a coyote, and even then, you shouldn't run away from it, because similarly to when you're swimming in the ocean and you swim away from a shark, instinct kicks in for it to follow you, just because you're swimming away from it. So you just have to be like, oh, you know what? I am bored and I don't want to be here anymore. And just walk away like nothing's wrong.
Relief was immediate, but the feeling of being followed never quite faded. They hadn't found what they were looking for. Instead, something had found them. Viewers debate what the duo encountered that day. Some believe it was ritual remains left by humans, others think it was coincidence. Yet many point to the drained devices, the strange behavior of the porcupine, and the overwhelming sense of dread as signs they may have stepped into something beyond explanation. Do you think Mia and Autumn were brushing against an old legend made real? Or was it simply their fear amplifying a string of unsettling coincidences? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.
Oh, Fucking hell! Call animal control. I'm gonna try to help him. Or her. Hi, puppy. Are you okay?
In this video, we explore a deeply disturbing encounter documented by Sky, the YouTuber behind the channel Swamp Valley. What starts off as a calm night of wild camping quickly spirals into a tense and terrifying ordeal. Imagine a still forest, leaves rustling lightly, and the last rays of sunlight slipping through the canopy. It's the kind of solitude outdoor enthusiasts often crave. Yet during this trip, something feels out of place. Sky continues his hike deeper into the woods. At first the setting is peaceful, but a growing tension lingers. An unsettling awareness takes hold. The feeling that someone, or perhaps something, is nearby.
I don't want to sound like a big pansy. This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me. And
as the path narrows and shadows lengthen, that unease intensifies. Sky begins filming everything, thinking that if anything happens, at least there will be evidence.
I'm trying to think of what to say. I'm like, is that a prank?
Before long, he notices a figure in the distance. A man, partly hidden by the trees, appears to be following from afar. Sky stays composed, crouches behind the brush, and waits. The stranger walks past, seemingly unaware. Yet instead of leaving, he heads straight toward Sky's campsite. Concerned for his friend Colin, who is waiting elsewhere, Sky tries to call him, but there's no service, and they're too far apart to yell.
Colin's not answering his bloody phone, and they're only about 400 meters up this pathway, so I can't just leave him.
What happens next pushes the situation into something far worse than expected.
Oh, fucking hell! Jesus! Fucking hell! Fucking hell! The fuck! Fucking Jesus! Fucking.
The man returns. This time, he's holding a fuel can and a burning torch. In an instant, things shift from unsettling to deadly. Sky bolts into the forest, trying to stay ahead. The stranger gives chase through the darkness, torch in hand, closing the distance. What began as a quiet retreat has now become a desperate chase for survival. Some viewers argue the entire video could have been staged, a dramatic setup designed to spook the audience. Others insist it's genuine, pointing to Sky's fear, the shaky footage, and the chaos that unfolds. So the question lingers, was this nothing more than a carefully planned hoax? Or a real encounter with someone dangerous? And if it was real, what would you have done in Sky's position? If this story rattled you, don't miss the next video. It only gets darker from here. While filming what was supposed to be a routine magnet fishing outing, members of the Motor City Magnet Fishers came across something they never anticipated, and it was far more urgent than the usual items they pull from the water. Along a frozen stretch of riverbank, they noticed movement.
Call animal control. I'm gonna try to help him. Or her. Hi, puppy. Are you okay? Oh, you are bleeding like crazy, aren't you? You are bleeding like you are frozen. Oh, you are bleeding everywhere, buddy. I'm gonna get you a little bit warmer, okay? Try to make you warm. You're shivering. Poor buddy. Poor puppy. There you go. Let's get you up to the top, okay? Put this back on. In case you bite me. I'm not going to hurt you. I promise you, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm so glad I saw you, though. Huh? Nobody's answering at the animal control.
Emergency dial 911. You know how that works.
Yep, this is Flint. They don't ever answer.
As they drew closer, it became clear. A dog was stranded there, alone, injured, and in serious trouble. The animal was drenched, shivering from the cold, and its paws were bleeding badly. Though frightened and clearly hurting, the dog was still clinging to life. Acting quickly, one of the fishermen tried to calm and warm the animal while checking the extent of its injuries. Calls to animal control went unanswered, leaving the group with no choice but to handle the situation themselves. Luckily, the dog wore a collar. Attached to it was an ID tag with a phone number. They dialed immediately and were able to reach the dog's family. Not long after, the owner arrived. Thanks to the fast action and compassion of the fishermen, the dog was safely returned to its family and later made a full recovery. Incidents like this show how easily pets can become lost or hurt, especially during the harsh winter season. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of microchips, ID tags, and community vigilance in preventing tragedies. If these fishermen hadn't spotted the dog when they did, how much longer could it have survived in such a state? And how many other animals are out there, waiting for someone to step in? If this rescue touched you, the next story may be even more surprising. On September 29, 2024, a lone traveler stepped into rain and silence. She's one half of LNS, a YouTube channel recognized for bold journeys into abandoned and radioactive zones. With her partner away in Moscow this time, she ventured out alone. Her target, a crumbling village hidden deep within the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Equipped with nothing more than a camera and a Geiger counter, she wasn't searching for ghosts, but for answers, radiation levels, and fragments of history left behind. Yet as the cold sank in and the ruins absorbed her every step, something about the place felt wrong.
Пока мы с вами пробираемся вглубь этого села заброшенного, можете оценить погоду. Сегодня у нас 29 сентября. Только вчера на улице было плюс 27, а сегодня уже свои законные права вступила осень, и на улице плюс 12 и моросящий дождь. Настоящая сталкерская погода. И мы с вами в таких суровых погодных условиях изучаем заброшенное село.
The rain had fallen since morning. She pressed forward through wet brush and ruined trails, arriving at the remnants of a deserted settlement. Roofs had caved in, walls sagged like they were ready to collapse. Nature was reclaiming everything. Her Geiger counter buzzed steadily until it spiked. Radiation here wasn't mild.
Наблюдаем. Заранее все равно есть, но небольшое. Можно совершенно спокойно здесь находиться, не опасаясь за свое здоровье, но превышение все-таки есть. Оп. Одни двери остались. Здесь уже большое превышение. Сейчас, секундочку. Где-то было 100 микрорентген. Ну, друзья, видите? Сейчас хоть не орет. То есть это село очень хорошо загрязнено. Смотрите, уже прошло сколько лет. И здесь такой нормальный уровень. И он растет. Сейчас мы с вами, как дозиметристы-исследователи, найдем это пятно. Конечно, для этого нужно использовать профессиональный поисковый дозиметр, но мы и своим бытовым находим пятна. Не знаю, 100 пока не могу найти, но увидите сами, 82.
It was dangerous. She calmly jotted it down and continued on. Inside the ruins, no furniture remained, no trace of life, only skeletal buildings and rusting pipes. Then she noticed it. A cellar door, nearly hidden. The corroded metal hinges groaned as it opened.
Погреб. Да, погреб есть. Это кровать внутри. Можно устроить сталкерское убежище и ночевать сухо, температура комфортная. Вот так, как сталкером занят. В погребах можно хорошо переночевать. Вот этот домик. Ничего интересного. Абсолютно полностью разрушен.
Inside, darkness, damp air, and the suggestion that something once waited here. Later, beside the Uge River, she stopped for a meal. The rain eased. She said little, simply stared across the water, her thoughts unreadable. She was alone, cold, running out of time before curfew. But she wasn't leaving just yet. Because some places don't frighten you with what you see. They terrify you with what you don't. Viewers later praised her courage, not because she recorded something horrifying, but because she willingly walked alone into a place most people would never risk. One viewer asked, "How are you not afraid to explore such remote, isolated places by yourself?" Another warned, "Please be careful. It's not worth the danger, even if we can't look away." No voices echoed from that cellar. No shadows slipped between the trees. And maybe that's what made it so disturbing. She left unharmed. No injuries, no scratches, nothing caught on camera that defied explanation. And yet, why does it still feel like something followed her out? This account comes from Brad Jig Master, a YouTuber known for his outdoor adventures, particularly fishing, presented through a calm mix of storytelling and personal reflection. His channel often highlights the peaceful side of casting a line, whether for catfish or bass. But on July 17, 2022, one seemingly ordinary outing became something far more disturbing.
I never knew today would be one of those days, but it was going to be one of those days. Old B-Red didn't know he was going to be in for a big surprise. Looking back at it now, I guess I was put there for a reason. Everything started going bad. I was going to do some catfishing, but my throw net got stuck in the water. There goes $20. I'm getting another one. It's cool. So I figured I'd do a little bass fishing. You know, get my feet wet. You see my little feet now, they dangling. But anyhow, stay in the video, watch a little bit with me, and I'll narrate a little bit more later. Let's do a little fast forwarding, shall we?
Something Brad could never have imagined. The day began like countless others. Brad set out on his kayak, casually filming and enjoying the stillness of nature. But during the trip, something unusual in the water drew his attention, floating just off the left side of his kayak. At first, he couldn't identify it. As he paddled closer, the truth became clear.
Okay, now you see me, I turned around, I'm going a different route. But if you look to the left of the screen, just look at the left of the screen. Did you see it? You see my head? I am fucked up right now in the head. Do you hear me? I'm fucked up. I had to whip out my camera because nobody would believe me. What if my film on her was not important? I didn't know, you know what I mean? So yeah, what you saw was a man floating in the water. There goes my fishing trip. And that sounds selfish, I know, but I'm fucked up, man. Okay, I'm really fucked up. But anyhow, at this point, get ready to call the popos, and I realized I need to get out of this water and do that before I drop my phone. So I had to dually on back by this guy and get another look at him, which fucked me up some more, you know? I didn't want to hit him with my pedal, so I stopped for a second. That's how close I was. I was like, fuck, man, I'm tripping balls right now. Y'all don't even know it. I'm running to the water. I mean, I'm running to the land. I'm nervous. Just looking at it kind of fucked me up still. A motherfucking body, man. I was messed up in the head. But anyhow, I made it to land, got up out of that thing quick as I could, and you know, fast forward. Let's go. Oh my goodness.
It was a man's body, lying face up in the water. Stunned and shaken, Brad instinctively grabbed his camera, not to chase views, but because he knew without proof, no one might believe what he had seen. The shock was overwhelming, leaving him nearly speechless. His calm day of fishing had instantly turned into a deeply traumatic ordeal. Fighting to stay steady, he carefully turned away from the scene, cautious not to disturb anything in the water. He made his way back to shore as quickly as possible, determined to alert the authorities. Though he acted responsibly, the weight of what he had encountered was written across his face. Brad's ability to stay composed under that kind of pressure speaks for itself. But this wasn't just a shocking discovery. It was a sobering reminder that even the most tranquil waters can conceal tragedy. His response was raw, and it's impossible not to feel sympathy for him. Have you ever had a peaceful day unravel in an instant? Moments like these don't just haunt us because of what we witnessed, but because of the helplessness they leave behind. So, what would you do if you were alone on the water and stumbled upon something like this? This unsettling account comes from Mo McMahon, a solo female van lifer who documents her travels across Australia's rugged terrain. Her YouTube channel provides a candid look at the realities of life on the road alone, capturing its beauty, solitude, and the real dangers that can arise in remote areas. On March 30th, 2023, one quiet evening at a mountain campsite would push her instincts in ways she hadn't anticipated. Mo had planned a calm overnight stop at Crooked Creek, an isolated campsite with no cell service and no other travelers around.
I'm the only one here. There's no telephone service. It's gorgeous, but feels a little creepy. I'm gonna build a fire, I'm gonna cook some food, and then I'm gonna leave before sundown. Yeah, 'cause there's just no, it's scary. We're not alone now. It's 3 men.
At first, she enjoyed the stillness, setting up her camp, lighting a fire, and making dinner. But as the hours went on, an uneasy feeling began creeping in. The silence and emptiness no longer felt liberating. It felt exposing. Suddenly, a van pulled up. 4 men got out and wandered nearby.
Yeah, use the nitrous motor.
I'm leaving. After my lunch.
They never approached her directly, but in such a deserted location their presence was enough to make her skin crawl. After about 15 tense minutes the group drove off. Yet the fear lingered. Acting on instinct, Mo quickly packed her things, extinguished her fire and left before darkness could settle, choosing safety over staying put. Her decision to keep the camera running and trust her gut highlights how critical it is to stay alert when traveling alone. Even without direct confrontation, the awareness of being isolated, without help and surrounded by unknown people, can be terrifying. And in these situations, listening to that instinct may be the best move you can make. What would you have done in Mo's position? Spent the night, or followed your instincts and driven away? Share your thoughts in the comments, because out in the wilderness, the greatest threats aren't always from nature. This disturbing encounter comes from Sam Nitch, a creator known for his paranormal investigations and eerie explorations. His channel is devoted to documenting strange events, unexplained sightings, and ghost hunts, often heading into remote or supposedly haunted areas in search of answers. On November 21st, 2017, what started as a casual outing in the woods quickly turned into something far more alarming. Sam and his friend entered the forest in good spirits, laughing and joking as they walked.
Alright guys,
Remember our last video when we was in the caravan? I did say to you we was going to go down to the woods, and today it's a little bit raining at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you the woods for the moment. It's quite spooky to be fair. Look at it. Little gap, a lot of little gaps. And until we get down here, we're going to take you over here. The old Victorian wall. As well as all overgrown and all that. Oh shit! Oh man! Oh. Right guys, this is the woods where he's going to come to. We're going to make our way down to the bottom because there's a path like that. Do a little bit of jump. Let's do my favourite thing. Is there anyone here? Wait, no fucking way. Did you see that? You see, there's someone in yellow, all in yellow, covered with a shovel, with a spade man. Let's find out.
At first, they paid little attention to the gloomy weather and steady drizzle. But their mood shifted when they shouted into the trees and noticed someone, motionless, dressed entirely in yellow, standing among the branches.
Disappeared, just like he was walking, he or she was walking that way with a shovel.
At first, the figure seemed unusual, but not immediately threatening. The two even joked about it, tossing sticks in an attempt to get a reaction while staying partly hidden. But the mood changed in an instant when the person suddenly moved, rushing toward them with startling speed. Shaken, they bolted, trying to laugh it off, though the panic was clear in their voices.
Right guys, seriously, I'm out of fucking breath, man. So I'm gonna make our way back. Hopefully we don't get chased by that fucking whoever it was. I don't know how to explain it. This is fucked up, man. We're the only ones in the woods as well, so I'm not gonna do that again. No way. No fucking way. See you later, mate. Ain't getting up here, bro. He's got a spade in his fucking arm. So come over there, go over there.
Just when they thought the scare was over, the same figure reappeared, once again sprinting directly at them. They scrambled up a hill, hoping the steep ground would slow their pursuer. One detail made the situation much more frightening. The man wasn't empty-handed. He carried a shovel. It's one thing to be startled in the woods. It's something else entirely to be chased by someone wielding a shovel. If this had been a prank or some kind of misunderstanding, most people would have yelled, waved, or walked away. But the fact that he showed up again and charged twice raises unsettling questions. Was he trying to protect something? Cover something up? Or was this just a chilling coincidence? What would you have done in their situation? Kept recording? Tried to confront him? Or run like they did? Share your thoughts below. Because in the forest, the most frightening things aren't always spirits, but strangers.
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.
Hey, please, I'm leaving.
Whoa. Claire is a seasoned solo camper and a single mom who usually films serene outdoor adventures, quiet strolls through the woods, and calm nights under the stars. Her content typically carries a soothing atmosphere with beautiful nature scenes. But this time, she decided to take a different route. For Halloween, Claire chose to set up camp near an abandoned church, one tied to grim stories of supposed satanic rituals and even a murder that still lingers in local memory.
Trying something a bit different today. So I'm going to be camping at the church with a history of satanic ritual and witchcraft. So yeah, this is Wild Bear coming to you from Clop Hill. Up bones and all sorts from graves. There's been a murder down on A6 known as the A6 murder. That's the road just over there, I believe. So yeah, lots has happened here, and understandably the church has been closed for overnight visitors, and there are cameras and alarms everywhere. So I've been up to have a look at the church, and I'm staying somewhere nearby where I feel like I won't be disturbed. Yeah, I like this little bit of woods. I don't think I'll be disturbed here. I'm going to do a bivvy today, so really stealth. I've not got another shelter rains, just a bivvy, so I think...
Because the church itself is tightly secured with alarms and cameras, Claire pitched her tent in a nearby wooded spot. While waiting for nightfall, she read up on the region's unsettling folklore accounts of desecrated graves, eerie figures, and persistent rumors. One of the more talked about claims was an old video allegedly showing a hooded person near the church years earlier, fueling local tales of hauntings.
Noises, I can't report of anything so far. While we're on the subject of weird stuff, there is a controversial video of what is claimed to be a ghost in St Mary's Church, taken in 2016, and it shows a black hooded figure walking past the door of the church. So if you Google Clop Hill Church monk ghost, I'm sure that will come up, and it's a really creepy video actually, but you know, that could quite easily have been staged. So but for you guys that like the ghost stuff, have a look at that, so that's quite fun.
As darkness settled in, Claire explored the area, cooked dinner, and eventually crawled into her sleep setup, hoping for a restful night. But as she lay back, a new tension took over.
Okay, I've lost my bed. How have I lost my bed? Okay, that's not even funny. Right, okay, I'm trying not to get disoriented. Where did I come from? There's the moon. So pretty. Good night, wild ones. See you in the morning. See the red eyes over there? I'm just going to assume they were deer eyes. Freaky. Really freaky. I don't like the red eyes.
Strange noises echoed through the woods, and then suddenly, she noticed what looked like glowing red eyes peering at her from the tree line. She tried to dismiss it, saying it could have been deer reflecting her red headlamp, though her voice betrayed unease.
I keep telling myself it's just because I had my red light on my head torch, that's why the eyes look red. And if I had the white light on, they would have just been white, because they're just deer eyes.
The eyes didn't move. They didn't blink. And for a moment, it felt like something or someone was fixated on her. Perhaps it was only wildlife reflecting light. Still, Claire's discomfort mixed with the location's dark reputation brought an added layer of dread. Even experienced campers can't escape how places steeped in folklore can twist perception. Was it just a reflection and nerves at play? Or did Claire find herself closer to something unexplainable than she imagined? Share your thoughts on what you believe those eyes belong to and whether you would have stayed the night. Tonight's footage comes from Rechile, a TikTok creator recognized for their wide variety of lifestyle content covering travel music, trending challenges, and day-in-the-life clips. But on December 4th, 2023, during what was supposed to be a calm, solo camping trip in a public forest, the evening took a dark and unsettling turn. What began as a quiet night beneath the trees quickly unraveled when a man appeared at the campsite, aggressively insisting the land belonged to him.
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
I wanted to camp in a forest, but a crazy guy is trying to burn my tent. Watch what he's gonna do. He's angry because he thinks it's his forest and he doesn't want anyone to sleep here. But it's not. It's a public forest. And it's not over. Look at what he did after that.
I wanted to leave and I picked up a few things and started walking towards my car, but it completely ruined it.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey, please, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Rechile maintained it was public property, yet the stranger argued otherwise, making it clear outsiders weren't welcome. Things escalated rapidly. The man grew threatening and disturbingly began dousing the tent with gasoline, while warning he would set it ablaze if Rechile didn't leave immediately. Terrified, the camper grabbed a few essentials and rushed toward the car, only to find it had already been damaged, likely by the same individual. The situation worsened when the man allegedly pursued Rechile through the forest, shouting and swinging a bat. Thankfully, the camper escaped unharmed. Still, the incident left a lasting impression and a chilling example of the risks solo adventurers can face. Whether the man was intoxicated, unstable, or something else entirely remains unknown. What is certain is how quickly the encounter shifted from heated words to a direct physical threat. It underscores how unpredictable public spaces can be and how even seasoned campers aren't immune to danger. What would you have done in that moment? Would you confront the threat or get out as soon as possible? Share your thoughts below, and remember to be cautious when camping alone in unfamiliar places. This footage comes from a YouTube channel centered on rural living, covering everything from hunting and animal encounters to maintaining private property and boosting land security. On September 27, 2021, during a solo bow hunting outing on his own acreage, the landowner faced one of the most unsettling moments a hunter can experience. A gunshot echoing from within what should have been untouched woods. Startled but steady, he gathered his gear and cautiously made his way toward the source of the sound. Before long, he spotted a younger man carrying a rifle and walking through the forest.
Hey!
Choosing not to escalate, the landowner approached and spoke with him calmly.
How you doing? You a neighbor down here? I said, are you a neighbor down here? Do you live up this road?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I own all through down here. I actually don't mind people crossing through here out of hunting season. It looks like you're probably doing some squirrel hunting.
Oh, no, I didn't honestly.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in. It's in. But yeah, I do a lot. I basically bought this property to deer hunt, and it's the first day of deer season. So I'm down there bow hunting. I heard the rifle go off down there a little ways. I had a group of deer in here, and as soon as that gun went off, they were gone.
My bad, man. I didn't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I own from the pipeline all the way down to just about a little further past where you were as far as you can see.
You bought all Kevin's property.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah. There's some big deer in here.
Yep.
My bad, man. I didn't know.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate it. From now all the way through pretty much about the end of, what would it be, February. We'll be down here hunting pretty hard. That's when deer season pretty much goes out. Like I say, I know you guys walk along through the creek here, and I don't mind through the summer and stuff like that. But yeah, during hunting.
If I had known deer season was in, I wouldn't even been walking through here.
Yeah.
Man, that's my bad.
I appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, yeah, we'll be hunting pretty heavy through. That's the reason I bought this property, just for straight for deer hunting.
There's some monsters in here, man.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
been hunting one for about 3 years now. Pretty big.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, if you want to just finish your way down through there, I imagine, and then, like I say, when you come back, if you don't mind just taking the road back. All right, man. I appreciate it. Take her easy. Yeah, I'm Joe. All right, man. Have a good one.
He explained that the entire area was private property land he had purchased specifically for deer hunting. The sudden gunfire had scared off nearby game, disrupting the hunt he had planned for weeks. The young man, apparently unaware of the property lines and hunting rules, apologized and agreed to leave without resistance.
Well, definitely know what the gunshot was now. He, I believe, lives up the road. Try to be lenient with the kids, because I know what it's like. I was a teenager. I like to run around, be in the woods as well. But he's got to understand this is deer season now. That's why I bought this property. I drive down here 2 hours one way, 4-hour round trip. Don't get down here near as much as what I would like. So when I get down here, the last thing I want to see is people walking down through the property. So, I don't know if you hear the audio. I'm trying to work with the kid. I told him, the end of February or so. That's when deer season will pretty much be over. Through the summer, if they want to walk up and down that creek bed, that's fine. Don't have a problem with it. But when it comes hunting season, that's when it becomes a problem. So, the bad part is I thought the kid was squirrel hunting. He had a .22 rifle. And he didn't even know it was squirrel season. So I don't really know what he was shooting at. I told him to walk down the road on his way back through. So let's hope he listens to that. But you try to be nice to the neighbors. That way you don't have any issues, which I've had a lot of issues so far. As you guys know that follow the channel, with break-ins on the camper and the shed. Hopefully being the nice guy this time will keep me from having those issues. And the bad part is, if the kid walked from where I thought he did, he had to walk right by the camper and my truck and trailer and see it all right there. In my thought, I would have turned and went the other way, but I don't know. Well, let's try to enjoy the last hour of our hunt here.
Although the encounter ended quietly, the landowner was left uneasy. He considered how common these situations become during hunting season, when public and private borders often overlap. Having already dealt with trespassers and past break-ins, he knew even unintentional mistakes can lead to dangerous outcomes. While the teen may not have meant harm, it's a clear reminder of how confusion and unclear boundaries can create serious risks, especially when weapons are involved. The hunter's calm response reflected good judgment and respect for community ties, but it also showed how unpredictable hunting season can be. What would you do if an armed stranger stepped onto your land? Remain collected like this hunter, or take a firmer stance? Share your thoughts below. And remember, in the woods, the greatest danger isn't always the noise you hear, but what lingers just out of sight. Imagine a bright afternoon in Colorado's Rampart Range, part of the vast Rocky Mountains. This area is a haven for outdoor lovers, especially mountain bikers, weaving through the trails of Pike National Forest. But beneath the beauty of the landscape, a disturbing threat has slowly taken hold, transforming a peaceful trail system into something far more sinister. For years, riders enjoyed the paths without concern, never realizing that danger was creeping in. At first, it went unnoticed. But by 2019, the frightening reality came to light.
Ti vidi to, a? Dobro to ne snimali ti od mamu i a maska se znaš da mi sporočila pustiti. Kaj si zdržao, stari, te naravno. What the fuck is this? What is this, man? Mislim da je uzeo, stari. A misliš da bi pokritu pustio? Najbolj to ni ilegalno, a ne, pač nekoga treba pustiti. Sam pač na nek čudan način, a ne. Najbolj da bi puško gor navezal, stari. To se pa kar nem zgodil, ne moram ga reči.
That year, a story spread online that shook the biking community. A mountain biker shared that a former classmate had been killed while riding. The cause: a thin wire strung across the trail at head level, a trap clearly meant to maim or kill. The internet erupted with outrage. Shock, anger, and demands for justice filled comment sections. Many called it nothing less than an attempt at murder. Even more unsettling was that this wasn't the first case. In 2017, two motorcyclists caught a similar wire on video while riding another trail. Luckily, they weren't injured. Still, it was clear someone had placed it deliberately. Speculation followed. Some pointed to frustrated locals upset by the noise and traffic near their property. Others believed it was a targeted attack on trail users. These hidden traps left a heavy mark on the biking community. What was once pure adrenaline and freedom now feels like a gamble with survival. Riders inspect every bend, every shadow, for something that could end their ride or their life. Some think it's the work of a lone individual, while others suspect multiple people. The fact that incidents happened years apart and in different areas hints at a larger pattern. But with no arrests, the truth is still a mystery. Could someone still be planting these traps, waiting for the next unsuspecting rider? And if so, how many other close calls have gone unseen? If that story unsettled you, what follows might just be one of the most dangerous encounters ever recorded. Picture a cool morning in Provo, Utah. The first light of day spills across the valley as jogger Kyle Burgess sets out on what he thinks will be an ordinary run along quiet mountain trails, unaware he's about to face one of the most unforgettable wildlife encounters ever caught on film. At first, everything feels routine. The trail is calm, the air crisp. Then Kyle notices movement ahead, a small creature on the path. Believing it might be a bobcat kitten, he pulls out his phone to record. But it isn't a bobcat, it's a young mountain lion. And where there's a cub, the mother is almost certainly nearby. Moments later, the adult cougar emerges, and instantly Kyle finds himself in a dangerous standoff with one of North America's top predators. Alone and exposed, he begins retreating, keeping his body large and his voice loud in hopes of scaring it off. But the cougar refuses to break away. It shadows his every step, lunging forward, eyes locked on him. At one point, Kyle briefly looks down to avoid stumbling, and the animal seizes the moment, rushing toward him in a sudden charge. For 6 long minutes, the tense encounter continues. Finally, Kyle grabs a rock and hurls it in desperation. The move works. The cougar spins and vanishes into the brush, leaving Kyle shaken but alive. Experts say mountain lions are fiercely protective of their offspring. They believe Kyle's steady retreat, refusal to run, and constant eye contact likely prevented tragedy. His composure under pressure may have saved his life. But it leaves a haunting thought. How many others have crossed paths with predators on remote trails and never made it back? If this encounter unsettled you, you're not alone. And before we wrap up, here's a quick bonus to thank you for your support. Something wild is coming next. In March 2023, a man named Gary and his daughter Amika set out for a walk in the remote Tensmere forest of northern Scotland. What began as a simple day in nature quickly turned into something far more unsettling. As they moved deeper into the woods, Amika mentioned she could hear faint voices in the distance. Curious, yet uneasy, the two stepped off the main trail to investigate. But what they discovered wasn't another hiker or even a campsite. Instead, they stumbled upon something deeply disturbing.
We just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground.
Falling over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
Oh, yeah.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there. That is weird, isn't it?
One over there. There's a doggy there.
Scattered among the trees were dozens of mannequins, each dressed in odd, mismatched outfits and positioned in strange, lifelike poses. One leaned against a ladder. Another sat slouched over, as if frozen mid-motion. A crude clothesline stretched nearby, making the scene feel even more unnerving. Not far from the mannequins stood a dilapidated wooden cabin, its exterior walls covered in eerie paintings. The purpose of the display was unknown, but the amount of work involved suggested whoever created it, acting quickly, they returned to their van, carefully avoiding the vehicle altogether. To this day, no one has claimed a responsibility for the bizarre setup, and no explanation has ever surfaced. Some believe it might have been an abandoned art project or remnants of a film set. Others fear it was intended for something far more sinister. Whatever the case, it clearly wasn't designed to be discovered by chance. But the question remains if Gary and Amika hadn't turned back when they did. Would that car have simply driven past, or was someone already watching? And if that story gave you chills, brace yourself. Because what comes next may be the most disturbing encounter ever caught on camera. That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.